You carry a deep, bone-level exhaustion that persists regardless of how many hours you sleep. It is a weight that feels physical, yet no amount of rest seems to touch it. You have mastered the art of smiling through storms, holding the pieces together for everyone else. You fight battles behind closed doors, maintaining a steady exterior while feeling entirely unseen by the very people you support. You have likely spent years categorizing this as a simple inability to cope. You see sudden waves of sadness or sharp spikes of fear as symptoms of a personal flaw or a mind simply overwhelmed by the world. These sensations point to something more specific than a psychological struggle. The constant drain suggests that you're appalling that your mind hasn't yet found the words to describe. That persistent, unexplained exhaustion stands as the physical evidence of the massive spiritual work you are performing beneath the surface of your daily life. Your physical body feels drained because your spirit is working at a constant high capacity. You are operating with a heightened spiritual awareness that processes the world long before your physical senses can keep up. Those nights you lie awake with a racing heart, your spirit picks up environmental tension. You intercept pain meant for those around you. Your presence acts as a buffer, diffusing spiritual pressure and blocking attacks from reaching the vulnerable. This constant interception is why your energy drops the moment you enter certain rooms or interact with specific people. You are performing the heavy lifting of discerning and filtering the energy of everyone in your orbit. This hypersensitivity is your spirit's way of navigating. It is a highly tuned tool of discernment, allowing you to feel the truth of a situation before a single word is spoken. Your path has been significantly more difficult than those around you. You have faced a level of constant, high-pressure conflict that feels like a life lived on a permanent battlefield. These hardships are targeted. Resistance converges on you specifically because your presence disrupts the darkness around you. The goal is to break your authority before you realize how much influence you actually carry. Years of this concentrated pressure have forced you to adapt. To survive the betrayals and the heartbreaks, you leaned into isolation and built thick emotional walls as a means of self-preservation. The version of you that's guarded, the silent and still exterior, and constantly overthinking mind, is the temporary armor you wore to endure those harsh seasons. It is a defensive shell, not your core identity. Every attempt to bury you has actually provided the pressure needed for growth. The intense fire that was meant to destroy you has instead refined your character and sharpened your instincts. The wounds and the periods of deep isolation have worked together to forge you. You are emerging from these trials as a more resilient and discerning protector. You have reached the end of the season where survival was your primary goal. The era of carrying silent pain in the shadows is closing. The defensive anger, the numbness, and the constant fear are ready to be put down. This armor has completed its task of keeping you safe, and it no longer fits the person you are becoming. As the weight falls away, your true nature becomes visible. You carry a specific authority and a depth of compassion that was developed during those years in the fire. Setting aside the defensive habits of the past allows your intuition to operate without interference. You are finally stepping into the clarity you have been seeking. In this new alignment, your life begins to move with a different rhythm. Peace and new opportunities will find you naturally, without the exhausting, uphill struggle that defined your previous years. This transition requires your active participation. Internalizing this truth is the first step, but vocalizing it is what solidifies the shift in your life. Declare your position by typing "I am chosen" in the comments. Subscribe to keep your focus on this growth, and share this message with the one person you know who is currently struggling under a weight they cannot explain. By passing this truth to another, you shift from a person focused on their own survival to a leader who awakens others. You are now the lifeline for the next warrior waiting to rise.